What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Couch podcast. People are trying to cancel me. Deshaun Watson, it's not looking good for him. And we're going to be talking a lot about Dynasty. And if you have any redraft questions, we are here going to be answering your questions live. I guess we'll start off with Deshaun Watson. I got it right here with me. And just going to be honest, guys. I was a type of dude that was saying, hey, let's wait for the facts. Let's see what comes out. It's a lot of he said, she said. But now with this new New York Times article saying that Watson met at least 66 women for massages over 17-month period, it's looking extremely bad. And it could keep looking worse and worse for Deshaun Watson. It's more likely that it's going to keep looking worse and worse. And right now, it could look better for him. But let me tell you this, Deshaun Watson's going to need to throw a Hail Mary and hit a grand slam all at once to get out of this. And I want to focus on what's going to happen as far as NFL, as far as fantasy football. Is a suspension looming? Hell yes. Like, it's looking really bad. And I would go ahead and say there's a realistic chance he never plays football again. What do you guys think?
I think that the Browns were so desperate to find a good quarterback that they, didn't really do their homework that deeply. They knew they had a chance to get Deshaun Watson, so they basically, alienated Baker Mayfield, basically burned the bridge on that. So now they're going to basically have to start Jacoby Brissett potentially to start the season. Because I'm thinking he gets at least one season. I think they'll do some sort of penalty where Goodell will say, like, okay, we'll pay you, you can still be paid for the year, but you have to sit out for the year. I think it's going to be one full season at least, maybe two, but definitely one. But the Browns they set it up to where he's only getting a $1 million salary this season, so he's not going to get any financial hit in that sense from a salary perspective. But yeah, this is very troubling behavior from Watson. I think there's too much evidence at this point to, give him the benefit of the doubt. There's 24 now suits against him, and who knows who will come out the woodwork in the next couple months. But yeah, it's not looking good. And, I traded him away in Dynasty. I could have probably got more for him, but I just didn't want him on my team anymore because I knew that it just didn't feel good to have him on my Dynasty team. And I'm sure the Browns, the GM Jimmy Haslam, he's probably regretting the decision. And I know Stefanski, the coach, is probably hates being in this position, having to answer questions every day. But yeah, it's just the Browns being the Browns, and it's not looking good for Watson for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, there's three phases to this. I want to make sure to concentrate on. So first was the criminal trial, which was thrown out. So that's never gonna happen. That's already done. Zero. And then is the civil suit, which seems like it's going awry for Deshaun Watson. And then the one I want to concentrate on the most is the NFL suspension. And just from what we know right now, it's looking like he broke some kind of conduct, one of those conducts or something. I didn't read it, but it seems like right now he's going to be facing suspension because even if he's, I don't want to use the words guilty, innocent. It's too complicated. But if we're just concentrating on NFL suspension, it seems like this behavior is going to warrant a hefty suspension, and it's not going to be 6 games. Like we're talking a year, 2 years, and like I said, I think there's a realistic shot he may never play in the NFL again. And I think it's gonna have to keep getting worse and worse for him, but that could happen.
Yeah, it's disappointing. And the fact that you're saying, and I believe it too, that there's a real chance that he can never play football again. From just a fantasy football player slash dynasty owner perspective, man, that's risky, man. That gives me a lot of fear. If I have Deshaun Watson on my teams, I am losing sleep, man. I'm losing sleep because no one knows what's gonna happen. You can guess, but there's a realistic chance he never plays. That's a thing. realistic shot that he's going to get 2 years, 1 year? No, we have no idea. If you think he's only going to get 6 games or 2 games or whatever, you're just guessing at this point. But like you said, and I agree with that, I think it's going to be quite a long-term type of penalty.
I think it's even more complicated than that and could be
Yeah.
even worse. Because I remember
Could be even worse.
one year I drafted Ray Rice. He got a 2-game suspension. I don't think that's ever been happened. And this is, let's just face it, when we talk about suspensions, we talk about pre-Ray Rice era and post-Ray Rice era because the NFL screwed that up so much. So I drafted a guy who was suspended only 2 games, and I was emphatic. I was like, oh my God, I just got a sleeper in round 5 or 7, whatever it was, in my redraft league, in the couch league, and then boom, just moments later, this guy's like suspended for life. So things could change. This type of behavior, even if it's like he had the, how would I say it? Even if it's like he wasn't doing something, he wasn't doing the worst things imaginable with this. This is still like serial behavior. This is like obsessive behavior. This is inexcusable behavior. This is 66 women at least. It's like maybe it's a somewhat good scenario for him, and then he starts booking more appointments later and he can't control himself. Like, this is what we're talking. Josh Gordon, right? I mean, how many times has that guy been like, hey, stop smoking, and he's just like, I gotta go really quick. Like, it just never stopped with Josh Gordon, no matter what. He was charming and fooled literally everyone. But man, it's
66
bad.
is just something else, man.
Yeah, it's out of control. Like, it's not even. I was throwing out number, like, what would be an acceptable number? Like 1, 2, 4. If you're on the road and like really banged up, let's say 12, which is pretty extreme.
That's
number,
excessive in my opinion.
12 one a month.
It's excessive. But if you're booking on the road and your masseuse is not there, I thought that could. I mean, I would still be like, let's wait and see if it was 12. It's not great news, but I think 66 is just out of control. That comes out to once a week. Different women, not I'm going to make this clear. It's not booking 66 appointments, 66 women, 66 masseuses. So that's booking a different masseuse every week. Just saying that out loud.
It's a trend.
Right there is
disappointing and it's troubling. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just said that out loud. Come on, that's
yikes.
That's bad. Yeah, that's horrible. So he's screwed. In short. He's gonna need a miracle to get out of this, and I don't think it's gonna happen, man. So what do you do if you have Deshaun Watson in Dynasty, or like what are some things, like what is it looking like? I mean, I know like he's screwed. That means you're probably screwed, and this is one of the downfalls of playing Dynasty, I guess. If you put all your baskets in Andrew Luck, or you go and get Deshaun Watson, and
I think there's still time. Like, there's still no one knows for sure. So I think actually right now is still the perfect time to trade him to someone. Like, if someone has a really horrible quarterback situation in Dynasty and they're already tanking, like that guy would be the person that you'd want to try to trade with, because you could sell it still. Like, hey, like it might be 2 games. You know what I mean? There's still benefit of the doubt.
Is that
in theory? In theory.
There are people like that, but I think it's going to be rare to have that one guy in your league that really thinks that. I think we're going to be talking about very few leagues where there's that one guy who'd be.
But what if they're tanking? They're like tanking really hard,
Why not?
They're like, I can lose 2 years. Because what if he's like willing to do it, for the cheap, like. You know what I mean? At least he'll get some assets.
What are you talking?
Because right now he has no value.
Asset, quantify. Give me an asset.
What about picks? Like, could you do it for picks?
Give me a pick. Give me an asset. Give me a number.
Okay, 2023 second, 2024 first.
Dude,
for
what world are you living in? I mean,
2 seconds.
I'll take that in a second. Yeah.
I would have. I would have took it before you finished before you said the second. Right now he's this. See, this article, like, really takes a hit for Deshaun
Maybe
Watson.
some people don't read though. Maybe some people don't really
Yeah,
do
you're
the
gonna have to
research.
find that. Yeah, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to find that. So in a league, I would say like 2 people don't know about this in a 12-team league,
I
and then
would I would
you're
see
gonna
that.
you're gonna hope those 2 people don't Google before they hit smash the trade
Some
button.
people don't. Some people
No,
don't.
you're
It's
right. I guess
surprising.
there's a point. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, it's 100. It's not 100% of people that know about this. I'd say vast
Yeah.
majority. It's like 90%. So
Because we're like in the media, like we need to know. Not
yeah,
everyone needs to know because there's so much news coming out about him anyway. Like it's probably just all just one big thing for them. At this point, they're not following it
it's
step by step.
basically a chance. You gotta have to take.
Yeah.
Bro, I would trade him for less than that. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I'm not giving up that much for Deshaun Watson.
Nobody would.
Wait. So no one would give up a 2023
Bro,
second
we
for
just-
Deshaun Watson.
You said and
Really?
the first. but-
No, I mean, okay, just the second, 2023 second.
That's
and then,
very,
like, one
that's
other
very
player.
realistic, and I would probably get the second.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Because
You can
one
still
thing
get
in
something.
Dynasty that's very important, some people realize, some people don't, is the roster space. And this
Right.
guy is definitely clogging your roster space. Like,
True.
pretty bad.
But if you have a horrible quarterback situation, then, you might take a chance.
I mean, it could get worse.
But you're tanking is what I'm saying. It's a strategy.
I would just not
I get what
take.
you're
I think
saying.
I would
He's
tank
not-
without him. and
But you're
get-
betting he'll be
Yeah.
back in like 2 years. You know what I mean? And then he's good. Everyone will forget in like 2 years. That's what you're banking on. If you're the guy
Yeah.
trading for him.
Well, you got to give him a cheap offer too. I mean,
Right. I'm just trying to get creative. You know what I mean? I don't know it really. It's
who wants to
league
get
to
creative
league.
with Deshaun Watson?
Well,
But
here's-
at least the punishment hasn't been given yet, so there's
okay,
a
let's
chance.
narrow this down. I think Mike has a point to try to do it now because I think all 3 of us are in agreement that it's a higher chance that it's going to get worse than better.
Yes,
right
correct.
now.
Yes.
There's
It's not getting
like
better.
if I hear great like on Deshaun Watson's like great news for Deshaun Watson, I'd be somewhat surprised, right? Because if he puts out his lawyer and him put out some good stuff, be like, oh, that's good. I think is going to be 10 times worse coming soon.
Yeah,
Like you
I
said, someone
agree.
else,
That's
there
what
could
I'm
be
saying.
another suit coming, like several. I mean, I could see 10 women coming, 10 accusers coming out.
Because we haven't seen rock bottom yet, I don't think, of his value. Like it hasn't been the bottom.
there could be
there's
news
still
that
room to go.
There could be news that he's still booking massages.
That's
Like,
what I'm
you never
saying.
know.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could be
you
talking
can't-
about Will Chamberlain numbers here.
Yeah,
like, we
you
don't
can't
know.
excuse it. Like it's
Yeah, this could be the tip of the
it's too
iceberg.
much. The network says
Browns is in trouble.
Yeah, and keep in mind, it was, I was in private. We're talking a lot, and I don't like get into a lot of things. I try to stick to the facts and give fantasy opinion. I was saying like, just wait, guys, just wait and see. And then when this hit, I was like, all right, well, he's screwed. This is gonna be hard to dig yourself out of this hole, man.
But do you think the Texans deserve any blame for basically enabling him to have these massages?
That's complicated, and I didn't read the whole article, but
So basically,
It's-
they were giving him NDAs to give out to.
But there's
to
2 parts to
masseuses.
this. One, teams always have resources, so you can always abuse those resources, right? I can take a barbell and hit you upside the head with it. That's not the team's fault, right? So just because they supplied the barbell and weight room, so there's resources. But the real question is like, how much did they know?
They
and,
knew.
and this and that. Did they
And
turn?
also, is it negligent that they would not have known? Like they probably should have known.
They
That's
knew.
what I'm saying.
Come
If they
on,
didn't
are you
know, they
kidding
should have.
me?
Well,
Right.
yeah, I think
It's
it's
too-
obvious.
too
They'd have to be the dumbest organization of all time.
They
Like
should have at
worse than the
least
Browns.
suspected something. Be like, hey, dude, you're Xeroxing a lot.
If you have to give someone an NDA, that's sketch right there. Like right there, you should know.
Yeah,
Red flag.
right there.
There's red flags right here. Why are you enabling your star quarterback to get massages? Like that's bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, NDAs could be used for a lot of things, but definitely not a massage. Like that's not.
That's not normal. It's not typical.
I'm just saying. I didn't read the whole thing. I don't know for sure. I would think that
I read it.
they. So does Did they know?
So they were setting him up with hotel rooms at the Houstonian Hotel in like downtown Houston. They were giving him like rooms, like free rooms to get massages in. So they basically enabled him to do this. And they gave him NDAs to give to the masseuses. So they wrote it up for him to give, premeditated.
Yeah, that's.
So how do you not know? Like, come on.
Oh yeah.
But I think they used this so that they had something on him in case things went sideways. They could be like, oh yeah, well, you did this, so you better watch what you're what you're saying or what you're asking for. So it kind of turned into like a revenge asset for them.
You're slapping the table, or Mike.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Relax there, buddy.
I have a converter on here.
The Texan. I'm gonna read this comment really quick. Yeah, we know that. We've talked about this.
Yeah, expensive.
Yeah, but
it's not looking good. That's the summation short point. For this whole situation.
I don't want to read any comments so I don't get in trouble. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I guess the time to trade him is now if you're in Dynasty.
Yeah, if you still can. Right.
Try to get a second rounder if you're lucky. Dang, that's really not much, but that's gonna at least free up some roster space and save you a headache, which is good.
Someone will do it. There's someone out there.
It depends what league you're in.
Right.
I know several leagues I'm in. There's just no way.
Exactly. No chance.
Happen.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, thanks. If Amir's here, thanks for not trading me Deshaun Watson for a Hollywood Brown. Another great trade decision right there by me.
So better
not fooling brain.
Deshaun Watson. That's the real question now.
What was that?
So better pick Mitchell Trubisky or Deshaun Watson. I think that's the real question.
Talk about a waste of roster space.
Right?
Who would you rather have, Jimmy G or Deshaun Watson?
Oh man.
Who has a brighter future?
Oh god.
Do we have to answer that? I don't know.
One's high upside, high risk.
You could be talking about either one, and I'd be like, okay.
No, Jimmy G's not. He's not high reward at all.
Yeah, the reward is much higher with Deshaun still, I would say.
Yeah, he cleans his life, comes back in 2 years, just starts balling out on the... I don't know what team he'll be on. I have no idea.
If Vic can do it, he can do it.
So, the next topic, I thought I was going to get canceled for my rookie dynasty rankings because I ranked Sky Moore so high, ranked him number 6 ahead of Drake London. Apparently, that's not it. I'm getting canceled here. Cancel culture strikes back. Jahan Dotson, I have him ranked number 29. And I talk about it a lot on podcasts and whatnot. Like, he's just a guy I'm avoiding, and rankings, I think they communicate something. And look, if you don't believe me and you want to draft Jahan Dotson, I totally get it. He's just a guy I'm avoiding. I'm not scared to give my true feelings and rankings. It's just the real true advice I have is wait for round 2 in your rookie dynasty drafts. If you really want to risk it, go all in. You want to put on a Washington Commanders uniform. You want to go get the same glasses Dan Snyder has, get the same haircut he has. You want to start, sending emails like John Gruden. You want to go in trench. You want to do that. Go ahead. That's great. And if you want to draft them, that's fine. And if you trust that organization not to ruin every single thing and every single aspect that they ever did since Dan Snyder took over, go ahead. Trent Williams, Dwayne Haskins. And yeah, I'll talk about Dwayne Haskins. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Just because he passed away tragically, I'm not going to not point that they screwed that up. They screwed that up just like they screwed up literally everything else. Some of it probably bad luck. I call it a curse, but you could call it bad luck, sure. Alex Smith. I mean, it's just a long list, guys. Trent Williams. I mean, there's so many. We've seen them draft a wide receiver before and screwed up. So I'm not doing it. If you want to do it, I don't think you're dumb. I'm not going to argue with you. All I'm saying is wait for round 2 in your rookie drafts, preferably mid round 2. I know he's not really fallen that far. What do you think? Susheng, is that even realistic mid-round 2, or is it just would he fall there just on super rare occasions?
Yeah, I think there's probably about half of leagues maybe you can find him mid round 2, but I would say if you really want to secure him, which again I'm not gonna advise that. I'm kind of in the same camp as you. I'm not really a Dotson fan, but if you want to secure Dotson, you probably need an early second. I would say that's probably what's going to be the sweet spot to get him. Some leagues, I would say maybe about half leagues, kind of this coin toss would be that mid second that you're talking about. But man, I would not do it. I think there's some other guys that I would rather pick.
Yeah, and so I do rarely see him go at the end of round 1 as well, non-super flex. So definitely don't draft him round 1. Wait for round 2, ideally mid round 2, and that's my advice. But yeah, I'm not getting canceled, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I've been
hearing that Wentz has been looking for him a lot in camp. Like he's one of his favorite targets so far. I just read that.
Jahan Dotson?
Yeah.
As opposed to who?
Like McLaurin, I guess.
I don't think he's there. Is he there?
Oh, he might not be there, but whoever's there,
that's my point.
He's the number one guy. Yeah.
Say, who else is there?
I don't know. Diami Brown? I don't know.
Yeah, just those two guys. And
yeah.
I'm just saying. That's all.
I'm just telling everyone I read.
I read a lot. I read a ton of. I read that Trey Lance is the worst quarterback ever, and then now he's the best. So I've also read that. So it's like it doesn't literally means nothing.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like there are some truthers out there. There are some Jahan Dotson truthers out there.
And that's the thing, man. I'm not as a prospect. I don't like him that much. I think he's all right. I think he's right there with John Mechie, Tolbert, Jalen Tolbert,
yeah.
right around there as far as prospects, like that type of tier, without seeing the landing spot. So I'm not my argument is not against that. All I am is I'm not drafting him. And if people want to know my opinion, I'd say avoid him. And if you think he's a great prospect, because man, wide receivers are hard to know. Don't draft him round 1. That's all I'm saying. Don't draft him round 1. Try to draft him mid round 2 if you can. My rankings are up there for who wants it. You guys trying to cancel me out there. You're not going to cancel me. I'm still alive. I'm a vampire. You can't destroy this. You're never going to destroy this.
You're like Joe Rogan. You can't cancel him.
Can't cancel me, baby.
Yeah.
YouTube views are down the pooper. It's all good.
What's that? No one even uses that.
Yeah, who wants to watch a 20-minute video of me? Apparently, I don't know why exactly. Apparently, I am currently going for a niche. I'm pretty much going viral right now on TikTok. No one's trying to cancel me on TikTok. I got about 100,000 likes, thousands of comments, 0 cancellations, but everywhere else people trying to cancel me because I ranked a Washington wide receiver low. Ooh, watch out. By the way, huge Terry McLaurin fan over here. I love him. Love him.
Likewise with Dotson. I was a big Dotson guy, but Washington really affects it, man. Really affects
I was right to say, let's see if they screw up Terry McLaurin. Let's see what happens to that guy. Not like they didn't screw up anyone else. Whoa. Hey, 49ers got a left tackle, huh? Where'd that come from? Huh?
Hey-o.
Where do we get that left tackle from?
A franchise left tackle, baby.
Funny enough, a lot of people tried to cancel me for Trent Williams, too, a long time ago on Instagram. That didn't happen. I didn't get canceled. And, he did leave Washington. Bozos. He's never leaving. He's never leaving. Adrian Peterson said he likes him. Like
Dan Snyder would never.
Snyder would never.
It wasn't up to Dan Snyder. But these pie charts are just popping off TikTok. Someone's going to steal my idea, I'm sure. What a dumb idea, too. I was just like, let me just
ESPN's getting them ready.
Yeah, it's such an easy idea. Like, let me just make pie. But no one's posted on. Like, this has not been done. Just a simple thing to show who's going to win each division. And I'm not going to stop. Once you find something on TikTok that works, you're doomed. You're gonna be doing that forever, man.
You're the pie chart guy now.
I'm the pie chart guy. Like this is
Yeah.
me. Like
That's you. That's
you're
your.
gonna open up
No,
a
bitch.
restaurant
Why not?
over here.
Pie charts and pies here. Yeah, you can do that.
So these are the odds to win AFC East. Looks like the Bills got a slam dunk, 81%.
That's facts.
Feel
Is that
free
the Jets
to.
there? I can't see that.
The Jets are. That's right. The Jets are at 2%, which is, I mean, I probably gave them 1% last year. So
So they've
I think
improved their team doubly. Okay.
they got twice as
I can see
good.
that.
Twice as strong, and that's saying a lot. So, I mean, I think the odds you're gonna see a lot of these skinny slices here. I think they need like everyone else to get hurt. Like they need Josh Allen to get hurt. Like you know what I mean? And which
Yeah.
get like, hey, it's football.
Dolphins could be good. I'm a believer in something that they got going on over there. It's two a time.
I think the
It's two a
percentages are
time.
about right. About 10%, 8-9% for both of those teams. I think that's about where it should be, though.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
These are tough, but here's the thing. I try to be as non-biased as possible, and I do this purely off like analytics and statistics and what's going on. Like I try, and it's sometimes it hurts to post these, and sometimes I don't really like it. Like for instance, I gave Patriots 8%. That hurt. Like that doesn't feel right. But if you really think about it, the Bills are an elite team. They're Super Bowl ready, and they got even better. I'm talking about last year. Now they got even better. Like their defense got, are you kidding me? Von Miller? Like their defense got better. Their offense got better. Like they are stacked, dude. They have tight ends. They got running backs. They got the number one fantasy quarterback on the team. Like, man, they are stacked. So it's just going to be hard to overtake them.
Got Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
And Khalil Shakir.
It is
right.
it is a weapon. He is
Yeah.
good.
True.
No, that is going to cause for the team. That's great. It's going to cause a lot of mismatches and pair him though with James Cook and Isaiah McKenzie and all the other. Like it's how do you guard that? You're going to have to go with a lot of speed, and then you got Dawson Knox. That's going to be tough. So this one was tough. This one we'll have to do a redo, obviously, based on our first segment.
Oh, yeah. Definitely needs to be redone.
AFC North, pretty much a three-way tie between the three big dogs, the Browns, Bengals, Ravens, and then 6% for the Steelers I got. So we'll redo this. What did I say? Just got to assume Deshaun Watson gets suspended 12 games just kind of as an average. Honestly, that seems low, dude.
Yeah, at this point now it seems kind of low.
The more I think about it, the more screwed I think he is. We got to probably say a whole year. I mean, what's the difference? If you suspended 12 games, that's gonna crush them. Yeah, and that's such a stupid thing if the commissioner comes out and says he suspended 12 games. Like, bro, just round it up so you get less.
That would
hate
never
mail.
happen. Yeah.
Round that up, yeah. So you don't look like a complete idiot like you've been doing in the past. Like you've botched a lot of things, Goodell. Like just give him at least in a nice round like one season. Yeah, and I don't think the Steelers stand a chance. What do you guys think? AFC North.
I think Bengals should be higher than 31%. It should be like 50%, I feel like. Because they were in the Super Bowl last year. I mean, they should get that credibility. And they improved.
I was going to say, I think the Ravens should be the favorite. But that's just me.
Mike, that's just like talk, though, dude. A lot of teams lose in the Super Bowl and just completely fall apart. And I don't think it's going to happen. But, I mean, really, like, look at the Ravens, bro. They lost all their running backs last year. Their O-line, they had so much going on. And I think they're back now, and their defense is good. I don't think the Bengals D is that good. Their O-line, though, might be
much
like
improved.
3.5 times better than last year. That's insane. That is huge. So
it's definitely going to be a real dogfight.
It's another tough one. Yeah, it's another tough one here. Two Bengals and Ravens, both really good teams.
Yeah,
both really good teams.
One thing to say about the Steelers, I think 6% to win the AFC North, which is what this pie chart is about. That's probably solid. Like they have a low chance. I don't think they're going to be a bad team though. So I would say like their chances to get into the postseason are much higher, even though they probably would be getting in as a wild card team if they do.
Who's their quarterback though?
Bro, how could you
Who cares?
you really see Kenny
Tomlin?
Pickett
Yeah.
slash Trubisky in the playoff?
There's
Really
no
think-
way, bro.
You think they're gonna let these guys go in the playoff?
No.
There's
It's
other
possible.
pie
There's 7
charts.
teams that get in, maybe. I mean, the AFC is stacked. That's true.
They
but
barely got in last
Bro,
year, and that was with Big
So
Ben.
Shane
He
doesn't
sucked.
realize in a couple clicks I'm about to bring up the AFC West.
That's
That pie chart is
That is
going
true.
insane right now on TikTok. I'm giving away. Look, I'm giving away $1,000 worth of stuff if we hit 10,000 followers on TikTok
Wow.
and Discord. I announced it, and what's crazy for the
How many do
last
we
3
have?
days, so when I announced it, the first 3 days we needed 40 followers a day to hit it. I gave it all the stats, like what we got to do. We're only getting 10, but since it's just blown up the last 3 days, we're on pace to crush that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're getting like hundreds of followers a day now.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
going
blowing up a little bit, you know? Kind of.
bro,
on its way.
it's going crazy right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna give away some stuff. We already did it. We already gave away like $40 in gifts, and I'm giving away a Couch Fam t-shirt right now. So I'm doing it gradually. You know, it's gonna get bigger and bigger. Little milestones keep them intrigued, because I don't want to give away $0 if we hit 9999. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, right.
So
Of course. Right.
next, oh, here we go. Oh boy, this is the toughest division in the NFL. Odds to win AFC West. Thanks to the Raider fans who are helping me blow up on TikTok. That's amazing. Thank you. You guys never, man, most hardcore
Never
fan
fail.
base. I'll say something nice about them. Most hardcore fan base for sure. These guys attack me every year. I prove them wrong every year, and then they tell me to F off. Love you guys. You guys are the best. But
Bang,
they
bang, bang, gang.
they have a really good team too. I don't think they have good pass coverage and good run defense, which I know is a big deal, but they do have great pass rush, which is huge, and their offense is great. So I gave them 10%. Last year I gave them 1%.
10 is reasonable, I think.
It's very, bro. This
I think they're
this
the clear
division
worst team.
stacked.
Right? That's
I think
They
it
made
is.
playoffs
those are not
last
even
year.
that clear.
Here's what's crazy though, and you know, I'm definitely I stand by this pie chart and everything. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not trying to think like as a Raider fan or anything. I'm like, but when you compare the Raiders to the Chiefs, I think the only real big difference is coaching and quarterback. And
Those
that's
two
it.
Big differences, though.
It's huge. Of course. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. What am I going to sit here and say the Raiders are winning the Super Bowl?
Oh!
Never.
Oh man.
Never. That ain't happening, dude. Huge difference. I'm gonna make a TikTok on just Andy Reid, because that guy is an amazing coach. So huge respect for Andy Reid. But
Yeah, quarterback and
Who's the coach of the Raiders now again?
Josh
the
McDaniels.
Oh, yeah,
Pa-
Josh
the
McDaniels.
Patriots
Right.
offensive coordinator.
That's good. Okay. That's an upgrade.
I mean, you mean they have a coach?
Yeah, basically.
Because
Yeah.
they're always trying to find one. Like, you can't really
Yeah.
land a coach.
They didn't have a good one last 2 times, so
Well,
anything's an upgrade.
good at football, not really good at anything else per se. Naughty boy. Gruden's a naughty boy. Yeah, so this is it's pretty much a 3-way tie kind of between the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos, and then the 10% for the Raiders. Here's a realistic scenario. I think all 4 teams can make the playoffs.
That's
saying that.
realistic.
I can
Yeah.
I actually think
I was just about to ask. So
I think it will happen. These 4 teams are that good.
Yeah. The only one who didn't make it last year was obviously the Broncos, but now, you know.
Well, the
Russell
Chargers
Wilson.
could have.
Oh, you're right. The Chargers, yeah. They could have both made it if they, yeah.
3. That's right. 3
Right.
teams could have made playoffs.
Yeah.
Last year. Wow. Yeah. And these teams are way better this year. At least the Chiefs probably take a slight downgrade this year.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're still going to be good. We'll get to Hack My Dynasty soon. And guys, if you have any questions, we will answer them. if you're live right now with us. Odds to win AFC South. Pretty much a tie. Well, not really. I got the Titans at 30%, Colts at 61%. I think that's fair with the unknown going on in Tennessee with AJ Brown leaving.
Jags got 7. That's high.
That could be the most shocking thing with this pie
that's
chart.
shocking. That's a lot of credit to give them.
Injuries do happen, Mike.
Injuries do happen. I think a lot of people expect Trevor Lawrence to take a massive step forward. So I mean, I don't know if you're looking into like the betting odds when you're putting this chart together, Couch, but maybe if that's a factor, then that could be a thing that is weighing or kind of upping the Jaguars at 7%. Because a lot of people think Trevor Lawrence is a huge leap in his sophomore season.
Well, I think he is going to take a huge leap. He might still suck.
Yeah, right.
But he was really bad the first year. Yeah,
he wasn't great the first year.
No, he was horrible. It was. I mean, the whole team was.
Urban Meyer was his coach, so that should be taken into account as well.
Not having Urban Meyer there is just positive.
That's a huge plus. Yeah,
huge plus.
Let's move on. This is a pretty weak division. Let's face it. It's Titans, Colts, and those teams don't even go far. Here we go. Look at that. Look at how nice I am to Washington sometimes.
Wow.
I can be nice when I want to be.
That's
NFC
nice.
East, I got the Giants at 6%, Washington at 13%, Eagles at 37%, and Cowboys at 44%. I'm rooting for the Eagles here. I think the Eagles can take this. As long as Jalen Hurts improves as a passer, I think the Eagles can take it, man. Got to strike while the iron's hot, while the Cowboys are kind of weak. They still have a really good team, but I'd say they take a slight downgrade from last year. The Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
definitely take a step back.
No Amari Cooper, losing pieces on both sides of the field.
And on top of that, Philadelphia gained some weapons for Jalen Hurts, a big time weapon, AJ Brown,
and defense.
Defense as well. They got
better,
yeah. They are a much improved team. So, man, in my opinion, just because seeing how this division it's very rare you see a team come out and win this division twice, which is actually kind of insane to think about, but it's actually true to some extent. I like the Eagles, man. Giving the Eagles 37% over 44%, I'll take that any day of the week. If Vegas are giving me these odds, I am hammering down on the Eagles, that's for sure.
Yeah, go ahead. It's Eagles then.
Eagles for me, baby. Fly, Eagles fly.
would you guys change the odds? Or would you leave them as is for this one?
Well, the Cowboys deserve to be the favorites, I think. And that's a good point that's brought up in the comment just now. Nick Z says that whole division has easy schedules. That is partly because they play each other, but
yeah, because they play like the Giants and stuff. Yeah,
right. I think it's fair to have the Cowboys ahead of the Eagles in terms of just setting the odds or setting the pie chart, but I would probably put my money on the Eagles winning. What about you, Mike? What do you think? Would you change the odds at all, or?
I have to see. I think, I think 13 for Commanders is a little generous. I think it's probably more like 45-45 even. Like that's what I would do.
Coin toss.
A lot of comments are saying 50-50, 0-0.
Yeah, like
it's the most popular.
Super
comment.
Generous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a nice guy. Okay.
Yeah, you must have been having a good day, but.
Maybe Jahan Dotson highlights is like, maybe I like this guy.
Yeah, I just think as a passer, though, as a passer, I think Dak is a lot better than Hurts. Until I see Hurts, I know he's been working on it a lot in the offseason, his accuracy, but I'm just still going to believe that Dak is, superior. So I have to go give the slight edge to the Cowboys just for that reason.
This is what Key's saying. Watch this. So imagine this scenario where the whole division's really close. Then an injury happens, crazy injury, and one of these two jokers, Washington or New York, somehow end up winning. Because this is we've seen it before.
That could happen. Yeah, it's not that crazy.
Before.
These teams just chilling with 6 wins, like just chilling there. Like so, one win is such a big deal. And I mean, we saw the Colts missed playoffs by losing to the Jags last year. Like,
yeah,
and that was no. I don't think that was due to any injury or anything.
No, they just choked.
They just choked.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure they had Michael Pittman, Carson Wentz, Jonathan Taylor, like, and they just choked. The Jags
I think
were the ones that were injured.
Wentz was coming back from COVID list. I think that's the only.
It was the second
that's
game
the one
back. He
thing.
choked in the last 2 games. I thought.
Yeah, so that may have affected it.
No,
but
it probably
could be
did.
a thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Still not a good excuse. To
Doesn't
lose.
exactly.
But no, I get. It wasn't 100%. Yeah.
Right.
NFC North, we got the Bears at 4%, Lions at 5%, Vikings at 17%, and Packers at 74%. You guys, I think the question really is the Vikings here. Do we?
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's not talk.
It could be higher. Vikings could be higher. I think a lot of uncertainty with Devontae Adams gone on the Packers, so I don't know. It's kind of like a wait and see.
You know, one thing I'm a real big believer in is the Packers defense. I think
that's true.
I think they're going to be great
and
this
run
year.
game. Yeah.
Yep,
And then you could check off. I love the running backs, not just run game, but just they're used in the pass game too. So I love both running backs and how they're used with that coach. And Aaron Rodgers, man, he's still Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks ever, and still winning MVPs.
Getting older though, a little long in the tooth though.
He's still
Clock's
got it,
ticking.
dude.
I mean, he just won MVP like 4 seconds
back.
ago. Like,
but he always threw to Devontae. I think it's just a big.
Yeah, but
it's gonna be big without having.
He's done it without Devontae Adams. It is something.
It's something.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna just say, "Oh, Devontae Adams doesn't matter." Of course, it's a big deal, but you still got the running back, you still got the quarterback, you still got the coach, and I think the defense is improved. So those are significant. And is that and this is in terms of, we're not talking Super Bowl, we're talking in terms of whooping the division. I think that should be enough. I mean, 17% does seem low for the Vikings, but really, like, I mean, this is the Packers, right? This is the Packers way of doing it.
Yeah, what I would say is, like, what we were saying for the Dallas Cowboys, that they've definitely taken a step back and the Eagles have taken a step forward. I would say the Packers, I mean, you can argue offensively they've definitely taken a step back. Maybe because their defense has improved. Maybe in total the step isn't as bad as far back as we think.
Small step back, let's
Small
say.
step back, sure.
Overall, yeah.
But these other 3 teams, you could argue, have not taken steps forward. Maybe the Lions have, but the Lions are not a legitimate.
They're in that long-term rebuild dynasty mode.
Right.
Me and you know about that mode.
Oh yeah.
Is Goff going to be the starter on the Lions? Do you guys know?
Yeah. I don't. There's no other.
Because I read something that he might have to compete with someone, but I don't know who that person would be.
I don't know who that would be.
Wow, maybe. I think that's the backup right now.
Yeah, there's nobody there, dog. David Blau and Tim Boyle.
Right. That's what I thought. So I don't know why they were saying that.
Oh no.
Bradley B. Outfishing says Vikings need to be way higher.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You think so?
I think so. Well, not way, but like maybe like 30.
That's a lot,
high, dude.
A third of a chance to win the division.
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's that far off from the Packers. Like, I just don't think so. With Devontae Adams out.
I mean, the new coach is a question mark. Defense is...
As long as Dalvin Cook is healthy and Jefferson takes another leap, I think they got a chance.
Dalvin Cook's never healthy.
He's always going to miss some time, but... I mean,
Jefferson's going to ball out for sure. He's great, yeah.
Like, what if he has, like, a Randy Moss type season? You know what I mean? Could happen.
Look at this. I don't know if this is true, but I know Rodgers has won a lot of games without Adam. Nick says, I actually did some digging, and stats at least showed that Aaron Rodgers has done better without Adams than with him.
I feel like it's a blanket statement. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, he's had so many good receivers throughout his career, you know.
But just off memory, when Adams was injured, I think they won all those games, and Rodgers did well. And that's why Sushane drafted Robert Tonyan last year.
Right.
I think it all was.
I thought it was going to be,
snowfall. It's all related.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Rodgers made Tonyan a thing because Adams was injured.
That's true.
They won. So, I'm not saying it's nothing. It's not a nothing burger. Adams was huge, but I mean, it's still freaking Aaron Rodgers, and yeah, we have seen him play without Adams. Like, it's not like he's never he's done it before Adams was in the league. He's done it when Adams was hurt.
He's done well, and he's done well.
It's another one. It's another tough one, but this is what when I look it up, this is what it's looking like. They only got a 17% chance to win, and it's like you would think that the Vikings would be higher, but as you know, guys, my pie charts don't lie, man. I don't know. That's not
how they look so far.
That's yet to be proven, but
I think this one looks pretty accurate to me. This one looks good to me.
NFC West. We have the Rams at 46%, Niners at 36%, Cardinals at 15%, and Seahawks at 3%.
It's about right. Depending on Trey Lance, of course.
We already know you got to factor all that in. What's going on with the quarterback situation? I think we all know that pretty well as Niner fans. So we're factoring that in. Rams are an elite team. Like, they're great, both sides of the field. Seahawks 3%. I don't know what's up with that. That seems high.
Those other teams like the Jets
should be like 1,
2.
Yeah, it should be 1.
It should be 1.
I don't know. Maybe they're saying that they can go get a quarterback or something. I don't know.
I don't think there's any out there that they can put.
They should be rebuilding. They shouldn't be focusing on getting a bridge quarterback. They got a bridge quarterback right now.
Exactly. They got 2 bridge quarterbacks.
Drew Smith or Geno Lock? Geno Lock. We'll go with Geno Lock, baby.
If Geno Smith is your QB1, you're definitely gonna lose for sure.
It's Geno Lock. Yeah. They're gonna be switching.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep like just one, every other play. They're gonna
QB BC, baby.
They're gonna bridge. They're gonna bridge to next year. All right, and then what do we got here? Oh boy, this one's really popping.
Oh wow!
Especially because I posted the wrong one and it added up to 104%. Like an idiot. I fixed it. It's actually supposed to be 13% Saints, and then this one would be an 84% Bucks. But I just keep botching it. Whatever. Who cares? It's just a pie. What's the difference? 9%, 13%. But anyway, Falcons are 1%. Panthers are 2%. Supposed to be 13% Saints and 84% Bucks.
Sounds about right. The Bucks should be and are overwhelming favorites to win this division. Saints got a ton worse. Sean Payton's gone. Jameis Winston, question marks. Panthers, I don't know who their quarterback is. And the famous phrase Couch always uses for the Falcons quarterback. You combine the 2 that they have right now, you still won't get an average one.
Hold on. Let's combine all Falcons quarterbacks and all Panthers quarterbacks.
Oh, God.
And throw in Jameis Winston.
And throw in Jameis.
And still not anywhere near Brady, that one. But yeah, if you did combine all the Falcons and Panthers quarterbacks, that would still be a bad quarterback.
Saints do always beat the Bucks, though.
They do. No, I know it's been brought up. But
well, this is now post Sean Payton, right? So how much does he have to do with that? I don't know.
Well, I just think their personnel, like something about the Saints match up well.
It's always a tough matchup for the Bucks.
Yeah,
like, it's always It is.
It's because of Marshawn Lattimore too. Like he locks up Evans, and then I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, I have no issues with 84%, 88%, whatever it is. No problem.
If the Saints win the division and Brady's healthy, like there's nothing crazy going on, that would be a huge shot. I mean, imagine how shocked you would be.
Yeah.
How long do you think Kamara's out, by the way? Like, do you think he's going to be out?
What happened? He got into a fight in Vegas?
In Vegas, he got into a fight. He got arrested. But there hasn't been any news. Like, I haven't heard anything. It's like
they
weird.
hide it so much.
Yeah. Like Watson's front page, but then like Kamara, nothing.
Yeah, it's
not
like,
a peep.
Was this like Mark Jackson at the strip club? Like
it's like a PR. Whoever's doing the PR for Kamara is way better than the one who's doing the PR for Watson.
Yeah, the PR team for Watson. I think they quit a long time ago. They can't touch this, dog. Like,
I think the latest that I heard with Kamara is that he had cases supposed to be either last month or this month, and they got moved to July. So it's just another postpone type of thing, kicking the can down the road. So we're just not going to know
Okay.
until the information comes out, until those
Did any
cases
of us
get
say
quote
this?
unquote settled.
Did any of us say Saints did not get worse as fishing? They got better. What do you mean? I don't know.
They got
Did anybody
say
Olave.
they
That's
got worse?
about it. And Abram
Yeah,
Smith,
I
I
mean,
guess.
Did any of us say that? I mean, they lost their coach.
They lost
That's
their
Big
coach. Yeah, the
deal.
coaching staff got
They lost their
worse.
left tackle. I mean,
That's probably what was meant by the comment.
I don't know if any of us said they got worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that. I mean, let's just say they got the same, or they're getting Winston back. That's good. But it just comes down to how easy of a layup is this for the Bucks, or is it a free throw? We'll see.
It's true. I think should be Bucks as like a runaway, as you have on the pie chart.
Yeah, whether it's 75% or 80%, should be something
Now,
like
Bucks Super Bowl odds. That would be a much more interesting discussion.
that. Yeah, they're
Right.
probably the best team in the league.
Could be.
I mean, their defense is scary, man.
Yeah.
And they got Brady. All right, let's do hack my lineup. Hack my dynasty. Sorry. Hack my dynasty. So here are the rules. You got to be present. You got to hit us up on Twitter, tag us at Fantasy Couch, and use hashtag hack my dynasty. And I'll just type that there. And you got to be present during the live stream, otherwise we won't do it. So do we have Lost in Space Kevin here? Probably not, but we'll give you some time to hop on. And we got a question. I got a question on Facebook. I'll answer that while we're waiting. And Aaron G, you two are the ones that never hop on. Sorry to call you guys out, but we'll wait on these two. If not, we have some other people. So Aaron G and Kevin Lost in Space, let us know if you're present. But yeah, I'm willing to answer your question. Let's see what this guy says. Just started watching, but I have Josh Allen as my QB1 in Dynasty. But who do I keep as my backup? Winston or Trubisky? I'm going Winston.
Easily Winston.
Winston, for sure.
It's not even a question. There we go. That was easy. That was a layup. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bridge
Like the Bucks
Trubisky.
position odds right there.
Bridgiski.
84% Jameis Winston.
Bridge Trubisky. I don't like it.
I have to drop off. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys.
All right. Yeah, just submit it.
Assuming these guys.
Submit it for next week.
Yeah. We got you.
Yeah, you're on Twitter. So submit it, and then we'll get you next. We got a ton this week, so we'll probably do like 2 or 3 this week. I don't know. It's up to Sushane.
Yeah, however many we
So,
can get done. We'll see.
Lost in Space. He's not here. Aaron G's not
Aaron
here.
G, last call. No. Okay.
No, we got you. We're gonna do yours 100%. So we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it. Okay, so first up we got Val, who was in here. I'm pretty sure he is. He's one of our top listeners. And then after that, we got you fishing. So we got Val up right now. Val, what's up, man?
Is he in the building?
Oh, Richard Garcia's here.
Ooh.
I don't know who that is. Who's that? I don't know who that is. I don't. Yeah, I don't have you. Oh, you got to submit it on Twitter. We got it. So here's the thing. This is what Hack My Dynasty is. We're gonna give you dynasty advice. Okay, so you're gonna tweet us on Twitter, tag me at Fantasy Couch, use the hashtag Hack My Dynasty. We got to look at it before the podcast. So you got to give us, at least a day or two to look at it. And then, we discuss, Sushane looks at it, analyzes it, and then has some advice ready to go for you. I think it's a cool set. It's been going well so far. Every week we've been getting a lot.
People enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Ty? What's up, man? This is the guy who just won one of the small giveaways, huh?
Yes, that is true. Yeah. I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that.
Okay, Aaron G. Let's do Aaron G first.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's do Aaron G then. So Richard Garcia is Aaron G. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right. So he's got players such as Justin Herbert, JT Najee, Chase, Higgins, Waller, Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, Bengals D, gross. Matt Ryan, okay, these rest don't really matter. Brees Hall, I see. Drake London, Sammy Watkins, Claypool, DK Metcalf, KJ Hamler, Brandon Cooks, Pat Fryermuth, Gronk. Oh, he's got some good defenses too. Okay.
Yeah.
Steelers, Pats, Chargers. And 3 first-round picks next year.
Yeah.
That's hot. Okay, what are we doing with this team?
I think he's got 4, right? 4 first-round picks?
Yeah, 3 next, just for next year.
3 for next year. Got you.
And then it skips a year and then goes to a first in 2025.
Got you. Well, this guy has a lot of good players, man. Let's start off with that. It's single quarterback, I believe. It's not super flex. So
Correct.
Having Justin Herbert, I mean, you're set for life pretty much. Matt Corral is good youth. Matt Ryan, whatever, fine. At running back, here's the thing, right? Look at the starting lineup, and this is kind of, I guess this is where the rebuild is going to start here, kind of at the running back position combined with what the starting lineup needs to be. You only have 2 flex spots. You only have 2 running backs. It's a pretty, compared to what I play, it's a little bit thinner. Usually I play with 3 wide receiver and then 2 flex and super flex. This only has 2 receivers, 2 flex spots, and 2 running back spots. And I'm looking at this team. He already has Jonathan Taylor. He has Najee Harris. He has Javonte Williams. He has Brees Hall. He has Josh Jacobs. So right away, like automatically, if you're going to start 4 running backs, which you should not, by the way, because it is full PPR, you probably want to start more receivers. I mean, you're not going to see a day where you have even 4 of these guys, who 4 of these guys that we listed are legitimate studs at the running back position. You're not going to see them all in your starting lineup, most likely. Or at least you shouldn't want that to happen because you want more receivers, right? Similarly, you have at the receiver position, you have some decent some decent options. You have both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I mean, let's start there, I guess. Couch, how do you feel about having 2 guys? I mean, they're both really good individually. Chase is probably a little better long term, but how do you feel about having 2 guys from the same team? It's a good team, though, good offense, and you're in a situation where both receivers are actually, they hold legitimate value on their own.
This guy just cracked me up. I was right about. I just saw. So Dustin said, "Started a Twitter just to get hacked." It just sounds so
Nice.
so silly and funny. That's a funny one. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing either. Right? It's not that bad, but it's not ideal to start. And he's going to be starting them every single week. Is kind of the issue here. You're gonna have to start Chase and Higgins like 16 times.
Right.
Year.
So
it's a lot.
Rather...
Or 17 times, sorry.
Exactly.
If you go to the
exactly. Whatever it is, 16, 17 times,
Yeah.
whatever it is. The point being is you would much rather, because you're not going to start all these running backs. So maybe trade one of these guys, trade Higgins, get some players that you can actually feel more comfortable starting every week in your lineup. Also, another thing to note, he's got a lot of picks. He's got a lot of players already. You already mentioned the fact that at least 2 of those stud running backs are probably going to be on his bench every week. So, like, just imagine Brees Hall you're benching every week. I mean, that kind of makes no sense. You need to start thinking about converting the quantity that you have, the quantity of good players or great players, into just even better quality.
And that's not that hard since he does have a ton of both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like he just has quantity. He has a lot of good players. Yeah.
So I have one really interesting idea. I think the way I played this out was let me first tell you the trade, right? Josh Jacobs, a running back, clearly the 5th best running back on this team. He's definitely, even if Jonathan Taylor gets injured or if someone else gets injured like Javonte Williams, you're still going to have 2 guys that you're starting ahead of Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is still a lead back on his team. He still holds value. Take him and take not just one, but 2 2023 first-round picks. High-value picks. People want them, especially rebuilders. And go get a guy like Justin Jefferson. I think it's possible to do that. Do you think it's possible? 2 2023 first-round picks and a starting running back on a team for Justin Jefferson. You're giving it maybe to a rebuilding team, maybe the guy who has Jefferson, like he wants youth, but you're giving him 2 2023 firsts. So, I mean, that's giving youth in a different way. You know what I mean? So what do you think of that? I mean,
Well, who's
that's
the
just
running
awful.
back?
Josh Jacobs.
But he's like nothing compared to in the scope of this trade. I think he's
Sure,
nothing.
yeah, but I mean,
If you can
that's-
pull it off, yeah, I love it. I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you can pull
I
it
think
off.
people would accept Jacobs in 2 first because I mean, you're at least getting something.
I wouldn't.
You would not.
I would
Okay.
not. But if for a little bit more, I would consider
So
3
you're
firsts.
throwing
3
3
firsts,
firsts?
I'm in. Or significant. Give me Javante instead of Jacobs for me to consider it. I don't know if I'd accept, but I would.
I would then, if you're gonna say 3 firsts, I would suggest for this guy to go ahead and do that then, because getting Justin Jefferson.
But that's a good starting point, though, right? To start the negotiation. If you throw in a small other asset and get the deal done, that's nothing. That's
definitely.
When we're talking about Justin Jefferson, which could be considered the number 1 fantasy asset in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Another small asset like a second rounder, a third rounder means nothing.
Right. And if you can land Justin Jefferson, then imagine what you have on your team. Now, all of a sudden, it's a 2-receiver league. You're not going to be forced to start Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Oh, I see a comment. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so he tried that already.
Yeah, it's crazy that he actually tried that. But hey, at least we know.
Right.
Look, I got a small piece of advice, and we don't have to do this, but if things don't work out or it doesn't interfere with what you're saying, you can probably trade and get Melvin Gordon for cheap. So that way, I mean, kind of does go with what you're saying. This is why. So you're saying you got a lot of running backs. You don't want to start a lot of running backs. Trade away a running back, possibly.
Yeah.
Especially Josh Jacobs if you can. Nobody wants Josh Jacobs, the problem. But even if Breece Hall, that's a great one to trade away. So you got to think of the sexy ones, right? You're thinking of the most unsexy guy, Josh Jacobs. Trade away Breece Hall for Melvin Gordon. How dumb does that? That sounds so dumb. But wait, now you got secured the Broncos backfield. So if anything were to happen to any running back, you got yourself like a top 4 running back. Like we're not talking like top 10 RB1. We're talking like top 4 on that team. If one of them are gone, Javante or Melvin Gordon, you start either running back on the Broncos. That's great. You can get Melvin Gordon for dirt cheap. Nobody even thinks of him. It's so unsexy. It's just a bland, vanilla ice cream. Like it's nothing. If you can get him and something else like a stud wide receiver, might have to add some more stuff to it. I think Melvin Gordon is a good way to kind of secure that. Is like if you want to still have running backs. You don't necessarily have to have like Josh Jacobs and Breece Hall and this. You could just have his handcuff, and then you're pretty much set.
Yeah. Bottom line is basically just try to do something with the running back room, and if you can get another wide receiver as well, that'll be, I think, in my opinion, a pretty good.
That's the goals. You need a wide receiver in Dynasty. So this is a unique situation where this guy is able to win now and also has these elite Dynasty young pieces. Like full of them.
Yeah.
Javante, T. Higgins, Chase, Najee, JT, Herbert. These are all, and then there's a ton more. DK Metcalf, Breece Hall. I think he's got Drake London. Like, there's so many guys. Like, this is the ideal team where he's like, hey, I'm ready to win now. But all these guys are like 24 years old.
Yeah, it's a very young team, which, I mean, that kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility where you don't have to trade your 2023 firsts away. You can keep them. You can just keep on stockpiling. But the only issue I see with that is you have too much in quantity. So, like, you might want to start packaging up however you can. I know you said you tried the Javante Williams and a couple firsts. Maybe just keep trying. If it's not going to work for Justin Jefferson, maybe lower the package a little bit and try for a guy like CeeDee Lamb or try for some other receiver, Just keep trying, keep spinning the wheel and see what you can do. But that's basically the path that you want to take.
Debo,
That's
some
pretty much
people
all you
think
need to
is
do.
Debo. Some people think is risky, but he could be another one you might be able to get for
Yeah.
cheap. Once he
Yeah.
signs the
You know,
contract, guys, and he stops acting a fool on Instagram, his price is going to rise. So
yeah.
might
Top
want to take
5.
that risk. Some people took the risk on Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams last year. If he drafted early, that paid off,
Paid
right?
off well.
Rodgers
Yeah,
didn't go to the Broncos. He stayed. So,
that's true.
all right, we're going to move on, but last one comment. That fantasy manager that had Jefferson wanted all 3 firsts in JT. That's too
That's
high.
no. Like, come on now.
That ain't, yeah.
That's just dumb.
And it's like you could really take out the and JT part. Come on, dude. That's too.
Honestly,
I mean,
in like a 1 quarterback startup, I'm pretty sure Jonathan Taylor would be the 101. So you're not doing the right.
I wouldn't.
It
I would
should be the
go. I
opposite.
would
It
go
should be the,
Jefferson. I would
you would,
go.
okay,
wide
sure, but I
receiver.
mean it's still 1.1.
He's still
versus
going top
1.2.
3.
Come on.
Top 3. He's going
3,
top
even
3.
1 first is like way too much of a price difference there.
Ah, that's bad. But are we done with this?
Yep, we're done with that one. On to the next one.
All right, Aaron G. Hopefully that was that helped you out. But hit us up with a question if you have.
Yeah, for sure.
Val, are you here? Is Val is a Bears fan? Are you asleep? Val, where you at? Should we?
It's only 10 o'clock
skip
in
him?
Chicago.
He's always tuned in, but he hasn't commented. Val, all right. Well, last call for Val, and then we'll just do fishing, and then while we wait for Val, we can go back to him.
Sure.
We do have fishing. Started a Twitter account just for this, and this looks like the high stakes league we're in.
Yes.
Is this it?
Same
Is
platform.
this the same platform?
Same platform. Yep.
Okay, this is mobile. That's why it looks weird for me. Okay, I'm always on the desktop. Okay, so this is a high stakes league. I believe this is a $250 buy-in league. Sorry to out you there, fishing, but man, that makes it a little more exciting.
Oh yes.
He says 12-team PPR Superflex tight end premiums. These are the same exact as us. I had like 0 picks this year late and can't pick up players off waivers until September, hence the low amount of players on my team. So he's got Josh Allen, Jamal Williams, JT, Judy, DK Metcalf, Debo, Jameis, Pat Fryermuth, place kicker.
Yeah, like a just regular kicker.
I know what that is. It's just
It's weird that it
the site doesn't have that, so I'm shocked that anybody would be in a high stakes. I didn't know they had it. Like a high stakes league with a kicker and defense Dynasty. I've never heard of that.
I mean, I dig it, but yeah, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I have a league with a kicker and defense. It's like
Yeah, but that's
it's not that much buy-in.
Right.
Yeah, it's a couch league, and the buy-in's not that high.
Exactly.
Well, hey, he's got 2 good ones at least, Butker and Rams D, and then he's got Olave, David Bell, Treylon Burks. Dang, how'd you get it? Is this the same site? Is this FFPC, bro?
It looks like it. I think
you
so.
would know if you did. I never did it on my phone. That's the thing. If it looks, it's got to be. I mean, because he's the one that's told me like he used my affiliate.
Yeah. No, I mean this is the same.
Bro,
same
I
thing
didn't
that
even
shows up
know
on
they
Redraft.
had. And I was reading the rules and everything. I didn't kicker and dang, that's
crazy.
Woo! That's good. Yeah, you're motivating me to do more kicker research. The kicker research I do is always like 1 year, 1 game.
Yeah, you're the man for that, though. 100%.
I don't think long term that much. Like I just never think like that, and I never specifically look at like, oh, his age and how's he gonna be in 3 years. And oh man, that's scary. Oh man, high stakes gets my blood flowing, man. All right,
yeah.
He's got 1, 2, 3 first-round picks next year, 3 second-round picks. He's got a lot of picks. I thought he said he didn't have any picks. All right, he's got a ton of picks for 2023, like 1 billion. Okay.
What I would do, and this is partly because it's the smart move to make, but also because I realize that this is a high-stakes league, and I'm trying to give him the best chance to win and take this down and win that big prize. You could be very tempted to look at this roster and say that I have these amazing wide receivers. Pat Fryermuth. I like him at tight end. I've got Josh Allen. My quarterback is set. Jameis Winston as well. I'm good. Kicker defense, everything is set. All I need is another running back behind Jonathan Taylor. Let me start trading away my future and just filling up a running back and try to win this year. You can do that. I don't think that's going to be the best strategy for you, given what's available next year. And that's pretty much going to be the focus of your rebuild. It's not going to be about trading players that you currently have for certain targets that we were talking about in the last rebuild. This is going to be more focused on what you should do with your 2023 picks, considering that you have a clear need at the running back position. So I just wanted to talk to you about the 3 or 4 running backs that could be available to you other than Bijan Robinson. Everyone knows Bijan Robinson. There's a chance, though, that with this type of roster, your own pick might not be the 101 or the 102 or 103. There's probably some rebuilding teams. There might not be. It's a high stakes. You never know. But I'm going to assume that there are a couple rebuild teams because there's always at least 1 or 2. And because of that, I mean, you have a really strong receiving core and you're strong at all the other positions and you're good at least one running back spot. So, look, what I would do is not trade this year, not try to win now, stay the course, use your 3 2023 picks and try to get, if you can get 3 running backs, perfect. Let's discuss these running backs that you can get very briefly, not too much. First one's Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. Pretty good. He's the consensus RB2. Good chance you're going to need a top 5 pick to get him, so you might not even get him. I'm going to assume, just for the sake of this exercise, that all 3 of your picks are going to be maybe in the middle to late part of the round. If they're early, good for you. You can just get better players. So these other 3, besides Bijan and Gibbs, are the guys that you really want to kind of focus on. One guy is Zachary Evans. If you're looking for a Jamal Charles or a Melvin Gordon, we mentioned Melvin Gordon earlier. This is your guy. He looks exactly like him. Tank Bigsby, superstar caliber type running back. And then Sean Tucker, who people say is the second coming of Jonathan Taylor because he quite literally looks like the second coming of Jonathan Taylor. So if you can get 2 of those guys, maybe even 3 of those guys, those aren't Bijan Robinsons, but you're still going to be able to get 2, maybe even 3 really, really talented running backs who are going to be on their rookie contracts. That's the big thing. That's the difference between if you wait 1 more year and draft these guys versus let me just trade, my 2023 first today for a guy like J.K. Dobbins, who's coming off an injury, who's, a couple years already in his rookie contract. His window as a, his window that he can provide you to win the league is not going to be as long as a fresh guy who's on year 1 of the rookie deal. So that's why I would say for him, hold. Don't be tempted to win now, even though it's very tempting, and just start drafting these running backs with those first round picks next year. That's pretty much the main idea for out fishing. I know he's got a question.
No, he's saying that he's pretty much guaranteed. I don't understand at all why. He's saying he's pretty much guaranteed to get a top 2 pick.
Because he has 1 running back?
I don't know. I mean, I read it and it doesn't make sense to me, so I was just assuming it doesn't make sense to you. You can read the chat. If it makes sense, let me know. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I don't get why that means he has that unlock.
All right, so he's saying I should have the 101 because the bottom 6 teams basically play a tournament for the last 2 weeks of the season, and the winner of the tournament will get the 101. I see. So, okay. So his standings is essentially like a consolation bracket, but if you win your matchup, you actually get a higher pick. So it's not necessarily the worst, from my understanding, at least.
Yeah, but that's okay. So but how does he know he's gonna win?
Yeah, that's another thing, right? How do you know you're gonna win?
All right, so I calculated just basic, generic, dumb odds. He's got a 25% chance to land the 1.01.
Okay, sure.
Just generically, because you have
Yeah,
3 out
sure.
of 12. That's what it is. 3 out of 12. One of them will be 1.01. So I think that was fair to kind of assume that, and it's yeah, if he has a 1.01, I mean,
I mean, yeah, easy
we know
decision.
what to do. Everyone
Right.
everyone knows what to do here. We don't need a hashtag hack my dynasty here.
Yeah, not for that pick. But these are 3 backs that you need to target, my friend. And I think you should really do that with Jonathan Taylor. You're going to have a really strong team for quite a few years, man. And I think that's what you want in this type of high stakes league. Win a couple times, maybe tinker here. You got your first round picks coming up, next year. You can trade that if you need to. But stay the course, just one more year, hold it in. Just ready to get the money a couple years down the road. Moving on to the next one.
We're moving on to Val. We have a question about the last one though.
Sure.
Can you go ahead and read that?
So if the owner wanted T. Higgins and Jonathan Taylor for Justin Jefferson, would you trade that? That's a lot still, in my opinion. Oh God. So let's see the difference between JT and Justin Jefferson. Maybe if you could do, instead of giving T. Higgins completely away, what if you were to downgrade T. Higgins just a little bit? It would be like a good downgrade. Maybe like a Jalen Waddle. Is that a downgrade in terms
Maybe
of value?
he can just get a wide receiver back. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get a receiver back.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. I
Right,
thought
like
you
a
meant
Waddle
like
or
offer another. Yeah.
Yeah.
So counter that and go get another wide receiver back.
You think something like Jalen Waddle would work?
Yeah, I'm very mixed on. I have no idea how he's gonna do, but I mean that sounds great.
That's
He's
enough,
young.
right?
He's young. He's talented. I mean, he's definitely it's not a bad wide receiver. So
Yeah. But that's the idea. Don't just give up Higgins as like a second piece. Maybe if you're gonna try to dangle Higgins for him, try to downgrade and get a second worse player, I guess, than Higgins back, but not too much.
yeah, you
worse.
need a wide receiver back. You can't do that
Yeah.
straight up. That's all. We know it's a tough one, but and I know people in the chat are saying that's whack, but we just broke down this dynasty team and we're thinking this guy needs a wide receiver, and slightly not ideal situation has both Bengals wide receivers, so it kind of solves
Right.
2 problems. This trade straight up though is a no. It's just terrible value. But
Yeah, of course not. No.
yeah,
That's too much. Too much. T. Higgins is just he's too
you need a
talented.
starter caliber wide receiver back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps. All right, let's do Val. Where's Val's squad?
Okay.
There we go. Val, you're here. He says, my team is rough. All right. Val has Russell Wilson, no running back. Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts, Jerry Jeudy, Mike Gesicki in the flex, Chris Olave, Dak at Superflex, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Lawrence, baby, Kellen
keep reading.
Mond, Justin Fields, James White, Odell, Devontae Parker, Crowder, Hamler, Laviska, Van Jefferson, Josh Palmer, CJ Uzama, Austin Hooper, Njoku, and some rookies, David Bell, Kyron Williams, Ken Walker, Isaiah Spiller, Snoop, Abram Smith, and all his picks are normal and untouched.
Untouched
pick. That's gonna be a first and only.
Oh yeah.
My dynasty.
Right.
These freaks on here. That's not gonna happen much. Tight end premium. We guessed that. I guessed that at least. Yeah, I figured that out.
100%.
Tight end premium. All right, what do we got, Sushan?
Okay, this is so he said his team is rough. I would not say it's rough. What I would say is that you have misplaced. You kind of built this team really weirdly, and you have a lot of value, but it's misplaced value, right? I'm just gonna read off your quarterback list. It's super flex. Keep in mind. So 2 quarterbacks is enough. You've got Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. That sounds great on paper, but I'm going to be totally honest with you, man. You don't need 4 there's some guys out there who would say all 4 of these guys are top 12 or top 15 quarterbacks, like QB1s basically in fantasy. You don't need 4 QB1s. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. That's overdoing it just a little bit here. On top of that, Kenneth Walker is your only running back, so you need some running backs. It's not like you're loaded up with picks to the point where it's like, okay, we can, like for the last build, talk about the running backs and fill up your room with rookies. You don't have enough rookie picks for that. And then at the wide receiver position, it's definitely above average. You're kind of missing that alpha piece, that like Devontae Adams or like a Diggs. So you got Mike Evans and Jalen Waddle who are pretty good. Jerry Jeudy, upside, Chris Olave, interesting rookies, right? So you basically need to take the value that you have at quarterback because you have a lot of excess value at that position and somehow transfer it into the running back position and the wide receiver position. So I try to do a few things. That's why I like to get these beforehand and work on it. I tried to go full rebuild. I tried to go, just stay patient and just slowly build up. And what I kind of realized was, first of all, your team is too good at this point to just completely tear it up. You don't want to do that. That's not an option at this point because it's just too much value on the team to do that. But if you were to just kind of play it off cool and just maybe trade away Russell Wilson, get a running back, and just kind of slowly build up, use your first-round pick next year, wait for that season, use your first-round pick in 2024, wait that season, and so on and so forth, I feel like this isn't the makings of a middling team build, and that's the one place where you don't want to be. You either want to be near the top of your league or near the very bottom and tanking, and this kind of seems like it's got the makings of a middling build. So I'm going to do 2 things here. I'm going to tell you to do 2 things. One, transfer that quarterback value into the other 2 positions we were talking about. But also, while you do that, I think you should start giving away, maybe trade your 2023 first-round pick or your 2024 first-round pick and try to also just improve players or get another piece. So I have a couple ideas for you. The first one is the simplest one. That's why I want to go over it first. Mike Evans, a little bit older. Oh, I should mention one thing too. Your only running back is Kenneth Walker. He's young. You have Fields and Lawrence and Dak. They're all young. You have a bunch of young receivers in Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Olave, and Bell. They're all young. I hear you out, Val. I hear you, but trading is the name of the game. If you're not trading,
you're gonna be able to trade. Here's the thing, man. In a league like yours, Teddy Bridgewater is no one's gonna don't even mention that. They're gonna block you. So that's a no-go. Kellen Mond, no one wants those guys.
Yeah.
Probably no one's gonna in your league, trade hating league, no one's gonna want Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence is mixed feelings, right? So let's just assume everyone's a hater. You're gonna have to trade Dak or Russell Wilson. And if no one wants him now, you're gonna just wait for a team to get desperate. Just judging by what you're saying, there's teams that didn't respect the quarterback position. A win now team is gonna get desperate. You just have to stay patient and trade one of your quarterbacks. I think it's doable.
Yeah.
Just may not have to be this second.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be today. But what I would say is, since you did mention you're going to have to trade one of those 2 quarterbacks, Russell Wilson or Dak, that actually does go into the main idea that I had with this roster. And that is collecting running backs, because you need to build that running back room, and also that, transferring the quarterback value into the running back receiver position. So take a guy like Dak Prescott. He's going to be a first-round pick in startup drafts that are going to happen later on this summer. And you were saying you don't have to make a trade this second. Maybe the startup season is the time to make these trades, because that's when managers kind of associate a player with their startup pick, and that's how they value the guy, right? So with that being said, you could probably get a guy like Travis Etienne or maybe J.K. Dobbins, one of those 2 running backs, and a receiver like Hunter Renfrow, Allen Robinson, maybe.
What about a first round pick and just kind of
you
tank this? You can
Hmm,
solve your running back problem
you
next
could.
year.
Do you want to do that though? I
I don't
think
think this guy's gonna
roster.
win this year, dude.
I hear you, but
No matter what, no
I
matter
think he's.
what, and
That's
he's
what I'm
gonna
saying.
have tough time trading. You know, like we're giving him advice, but there's also a good chance he'll never pull off this trade. This is why he's got all his picks. Like he's
That's
basically
true.
what's be honest, but how much is what's the buy-in for this league? It sounds like it's just a league that people aren't too into. Like let's just be real. He's gonna have a tough time trading. So I mean, I see your way. But if for some
Exactly.
reason, I mean, it's not realistic, but also for some reason, if it's easier to get a pick, you could go that way because that's how you can solve your RB problem. It would just have to wait a year.
Yeah, you could go in that direction. The only issue is I kind of did that, and when I did this last night, I figured out, okay, let's see how we can do this in just like a full teardown, not a full teardown, but main
Oh, it's
get picks, and it just didn't come out right any time. It just wasn't factoring out to be a good roster. It just became a middling build every time. So when I actually tried to go the other way and say, okay, let me try to force the issue and try
how
to
is that
trade these picks and
possible?
actually win now, it worked.
How's that possible? He
How is it
has
possible?
Ken Walk.
Because
He just needs one running back.
this team is way closer to winning now than
But
rebuilding
all he needs is
completely.
one run. So we're telling him like get that running back now. But I
That's what I'm
mean, but if
saying.
he gets one running back, it's still I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think this is a winning team. The roster is young, way younger than average. You agree? Don't even count the running backs. Other than Russell Wilson, these are all
I
super
feel you.
young players.
Exactly. But I mean, so the only one who's not young, I was going to say this earlier, forgot to mention it. Mike Evans, I think you could probably, again, this was before you said this league is hard to trade, but I was thinking Mike Evans, package him in the 2024 first, upgrade that receiver, get younger as well. You could probably get someone like CD Lamb, honestly, with that type of deal. Um, but again, that's just more of getting youth. Um, Look, if this league is hard to trade in, then I kind of understand what you're saying, Couch, because you can get an early pick. Your 2023 pick, because you only have one, I would say 1.5. I mean, Devin Singletary and Chase Edmonds, they're going to get you points this year, but they're not going to be like very strong. So you probably have like 1.5, including Kenneth Walker being in a Rashad Penny type of thing. So yeah, you could definitely get an early pick because your running back room is going to be weak and severely lacking production. But I mean, I don't know, man. This looks because then you're only getting one more running back. Now you have two. If one of those get injured, okay, well now you got to wait a whole nother year, get a third running back, and then what if you get injury luck again? I mean, you just continue to kick the can down the road, and your roster gets older and older. And I don't know if that's just the best move, just to just wait like that and just go year by year. I think he's got to do something. I mean, again, if the trade market's dry, it makes it tough. It makes it tough for me to even give legit advice as well.
Yeah,
Because
every
trading
advice
is
you're gonna
part of the
give
game.
on here is gonna involve trading like almost all the time. So
Right.
it is,
Trading's the
we're
name of
not
the game in Dynasty.
we're
That's
yeah,
why.
what else? I mean, we're not
Yeah.
doing lineups here. It's like we're not telling you who to start. So it's gonna be
Right.
all about trades and which direction to go. But I mean, whatever. You need a running back.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It
You need a
is what
running
it
back, and
is.
I don't think waiting a whole year and tanking and maybe getting Bijan and then only having those two running backs to field for the next season. If one of those guys get injured, you're screwed. I just don't think that's a winning formula either. I think try to get these trades done. Try to trade a quarterback if you can get a running back and a receiver for it. Try to package Mike Evans and a first, get a better, younger receiver. Just try what you can, Val. Startup season maybe would be a good time, like I said earlier, just because people associate a player with the ADP or pick value that they're going in a dynasty startup. So maybe for that reason, you might have more people inclined to move because they're not as nervous to move pieces. They kind of know how people are evaluating them. But yeah, if it's a dry trade market,
Val, you got to let the trade partner pick.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
everyone knows Russell Wilson's better than Dak, but Dak's much younger. But you can't get picky, right? You got to let them be like, hey, whichever one, do you want this guy or that guy? You got to, I mean, since it's slim pickings, you can't be too picky with that. We do have a question. Are we pretty much done with this one?
yeah, that was a tricky one, but yeah, we're pretty much.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a very extreme team.
Yeah.
All right, we got a cool question here. Richard says, I know standard formats RBs are key, but half PPR and full PPR is wide receivers key for flex spots. So for flex spots, if it's full PPR in any type of league, you always want to start a wide receiver. In Dynasty, it's more than that because number one, wide receivers stay a little bit more healthier. RB is a more brutal position, and wide receivers have a longer career span. So they're just going to be more valuable in general. And in any format, you do want to start a wide receiver ahead of a running back, except non PPR. Even half PPR, typically wide receivers better. But in non PPR, I would rather go with a running back when I'm making a lineup decision. But again, we're talking dynasty. So just because the wide receivers are worth so much more value because they last longer, they don't fall off when they're 27, 29, like running backs. That's why wide receivers are more valuable. Also, we're really talking
on
dynasty.
win now mode as well a little bit, because if you're a win now type of team, you're probably going to have 5, 6, 7 startable, hopefully, options on your team. Whereas if you're a rebuilding squad, you're probably going to have at the most like your best running back might just be like a guy's handcuff, So that could be. It depends where you're at in the rebuild, but I guess if you're asking in like the final, like what does a championship team look like?
We're mainly talking about the flex spot. We're talking about the flex spot for his team. It's wide receiver,
probably receiver, dude.
Yeah, it's
probably
gonna be
receiver.
Yeah, I mean it's case by case, but it's almost always gonna be wide receiver if it's half PPR, and it's always wide receiver pretty much if it's full PPR. They score more points. Yeah. That's how it is. Best ball, it's always going to be wide receiver. You don't get to pick, but you draft in best ball. Dynasty, it's always going to be wide receiver because of that extra added career span. They last 4 years longer. And then, in just redraft leagues and DFS, if you want to score more points, it's going to probably be wide receiver.
So short answer, wide receiver, pretty much.
Yeah, like Swift or Higgins for flex. I'm going Swift, but
Swift is better,
Yeah, that's the thing. But we've looked at your team, and it's case by case. But that's where is Swift going in drafts versus Higgins? That's the thing. So yeah, Swift, much higher floor. So you're gonna go with Swift. And Swift also, that given week, he might catch more passes than Higgins. So, that's a different thing. But a more serious question would be like Zeke or Mike Evans, right? With Godwin out. That's a better question there. And then we gotta see what the Cowboys are doing. But that's a better question. As of right now, I'd go with Mike Evans, because he's going to catch some balls probably.
The volume's going to be there. Zeke has been struggling. So
yeah, that's the thing. Was like if Zeke was the workhorse we saw 2-3 years ago, answer Zeke easily.
Yeah, no brainer. Of course.
But right now it's just unsure. That's just the first name that came to my head. I don't know.
It's a good one.
Yeah, like Antonio Gibson or Mike Evans. But like that's easy answer. Mike Evans. Right there. That's not even. That's it.
Oh yeah, not even close. Not even close.
I just figures RBs get more touches than most wide receivers, right? Or is that false? They do, but if Sushane got a lot of touches, that wouldn't mean much, right? So carries, so it matters who the players, and so a carry means very little. It's actually the targets are worth a lot more. So let's just talk about just running back. So running back, if they get a carry versus a target is worth 2.5 more fantasy points. So it's all about, right? We're playing PPR. Like, you know what PPR means. You get a point per reception. And it's a passing league. Like, it seems like every quarterback's throwing 4,000 yards now. Like, it's not out of ordinary to throw 5,000 yards. That wasn't the case. So, no, man. In the only time that running backs really crush it in wide receivers, if they're close, like obviously, like you said, Swift and Higgins, like that's not fair because it's Swift in any format. But if they're even, and it's non-PPR, then a running back would be a good choice. If it's half PPR or PPR, it's going to be the wide receiver. That's just how it is. And then, like I said, if we're talking about Dynasty, they get that extra bonus because they live another 4 years on your team.
Right.
As far as running backs, they fall off a cliff like really fast.
Yes. Right after the rookie contract. That's basically the general consensus guideline. Good for 4 or 5 years, and then after that, you might want to look to trade him.
Then once Zeke signs a big contract, once Todd Gurley signs a big contract,
once McCaffrey and Saquon get injured enough times, oh boy.
Yeah, it's just,
not good.
It's a lot. I remember Shady McCoy, man. He was so good, and then you know, around 29 years old or whatever, he just was a nobody. Like, it happens.
It happens so fast, man. It happens so quick to these guys.
It's the worst position. Like, if you had recommended like someone to play a position, like you got a kid and he's getting into football, be a quarterback. If you can't be a wide receiver, don't be a running back.
Yeah, exactly.
Running back's so brutal. Yeah, right. Your shoulder's gonna be out of place. You're gonna get hit in here. You're gonna pull this. You got a bunch of people trying to attack you every play. You don't get paid in the NFL. Yeah, that's right. Wait to trade. Wait for the hype to build.
Exactly.
But we're gonna end it there. Everyone, thank you guys so much for the support. Lots of ups and downs on social media, but we're alive on TikTok, baby. You can't cancel me. The couch is still going. We're having fun. We're doing it. Mock Draft Mondays is a thing. We're going live on the main channel every Monday, doing live mock drafts with you guys. So check it out. And as long as we're having fun and playing and giving good advice, man, you can't lose. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.